Edward O'Connor is a better teacher than Gary White. I'll let that sink in for a little bit. For those of you who don't know, O'Connor is another common teacher. Now it's your guys' face, you guys are looking at me like, gee, guys, this guy committing suicide. But I swear, I have a reason why I did. According to Rate My Professor, what's going on, doing some research, right? Both of them have a 4.5 out of 5 rating for overall rating. But Mr. O'Connor has a 100% rate for people who are willing to retake his class, whereas our professor probably only has a 78%. Very unfortunate. Also, the level of difficulty in Professor O'Connor's class is a 2.5 compared to the 3.1 here. So, after looking at those stats, you can see where I'm coming from, right? But the thing that Rate My Professor does not take into account is our professor's work ethic, sorry about that, and hard work. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how hard work and talent fails to work hard. A little bit of background. So the area I'm from, everyone's people are well off. No one's really in trouble. So some children are raised kind of snobby and believe that they can get whatever they want, and they stand Amazon Prime and shows a bunch of stuff in 2 days or the same day sometimes. However, my parents, they came from nothing. They were born in Arizona, so a very small town close to the border called Sierra Vista. And so they tried to put in this work ethic into me. And by doing that, from a young age, I would have to do chores, right? I feel like most people do chores. They started me off at $2 a week. Now I was so excited because in elementary school we had this little concession stand, right? You buy cookies, buy those erasers that get put together into little balls, and you can take them apart. Really good for people with like ADHD, because they're always doing something. But eventually, as we grow up, my parents, things just get more expensive. That's just the way it is. My parents made the mistake of buying me DS when I was young, so my little first grade stuff was sitting there thinking about how I'm making only $2 a week and I need to pay for a $60 game. I'm like, I just can't do that. It's like 6 months for me to play the game for 2 weeks and then get bored or beat the game. So I decided it was time for a new job. Now I didn't go from first grade straight to getting a real job. Obviously, it took some time. But the moment I decided this was around junior year. What really pushed me over to deciding I needed some more income in the job was I was really big into video games and I wanted a PS4. For those of you who don't know, games kind of are sponsored by like the gaming system. If that makes sense. Like for Call of Duty, for example, at the time they were sponsored by PS4. So when I would go out and look for like competitive matches to play, all the good people were playing on PS4 console. Like one on Xbox just wasn't as good. That's just the way it worked. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to make it into the esports. I'm trying to be the next pro gamer. I need to go hop on and get a PS4. And also around this time, someone drive my car and they completely totaled it. So my parents were like, yep, you gotta go work that one off. I decided to go get a job at America's Tire. For those of you who are out of state, it's also known as Discount Tire. And I had a struggle trying to find a job because for me, I need something that's always constantly moving, hands-on. I need to be engaged at all times, or else I'm just spaced off. So like doing retail jobs, scanning around, was just not for me, and I knew that. So it took me a little bit of time to go and find an actual job. However, my uncle was actually one of the senior vice presidents for the company. So, and he made his 2 kids work there, my cousins work there, and my mom looking up to my uncle like how should I discipline him? He's like, send to the garage real quick. And that made him. So some background on this job. A long day or a full day of work, working hours from 7:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night with a 45 And I was working like during the summers every day. Um, and it was gruesome. I don't know if you guys have ever been to garage. There's some lifts that when you take it up, you're able to like work on the car up here. That's not what we had. We lift the car like a foot length off the ground. So everything we're doing is like down, bending over. I'm on my knees every day, hitting the gun, rolling the tire over to the little machine. And I come on, my back was just destroyed, covered in dirt all over my face. And I never complained though. I always worked because I knew that for me personally, this is just a means to an end right now. I see a bigger thing in the future, but sometimes you just have to go through hard stuff to get to where you want to be. Now, coming in, you at this company, they don't hire outside people. Like if there's someone high up that wants to get a job, you don't start. You can't just hop in. The only way they hire is within the company. So you start at the ground and work your way up. Um, and with my work ethic, I was able to actually move up as one of the fastest people besides my uncle, which is kind of funny. I think so. Um, and everyone thought it was because of my uncle, because of who I know, or who I knew, but it was because of my dedication. I'd always get put on the worst jobs. I was taking out the trash every day, stacking the old tires, doing all that. And everyone's like, oh, I just know the higher up. It's unfair. But that's truly not what happens. And my goal was to be a salesman up there. That's all I wanted. It made a good amount. I think it was like a little over 20 an hour, which as a 17, 18-year-old kid is pretty nuts. Especially when mom and daddy are paying for all the other stuff like food and gas and all that. Um, but even though I still never made it to the salesman position, I was able to still through my work ethic and being knowledgeable about tires, because no one really knows about tires. And they know about cars, but no one really knows what to do with the tire. I was able to develop a way to like be able to communicate what's going on technically with just like a normal everyday person. And that's what kind of I'm losing the word right now, but at the end of the day, I was able to actually get a salesman position job as just one of the techs working in the garage. So, once a small Korean man once said, "Do or do not, there is no try." Now, I took this to heart because if you're going to do something, you could be extremely talented, but if you're not going to try, you're not going to get anywhere. So you're supposed to go all in 100% on anything you do.